Hello, folks. We are sponsored by Next Gen Power. If you don't know what Next Gen Power is about, they provide green energy solutions powered by the sun. So you can save money and reduce your carbon footprint in doing so. Now, with rising costs on fuel, we're all feeling the pinch at the moment. You can take control of your monthly costs in your home or business and save up to 70% on your energy bills while doing so. So check it out, their website at nextgenpower.uk, get a free quote, and hopefully we can save you some money. Hello and welcome to the He Doesn't Want a podcast. This week's episode is a focus on Amateur League Division 2A. We're going to start, first of all, with James Cully of Portavogie Rangers. James, how are you, mate? You all good?
Yes, good, thanks. Thanks for the invite onto it the first time.
Yeah, I'm glad to get you on. Is there having a good season so far? How do you assess the season so far yourself?
Well, firstly, after a disastrous season last year, well, when I say disastrous season last year, I mean finishing fourth from a terrible start. If you had said to probably myself at the start of the year, you'd be in a cup semi-final, top of the league, and and we a shout, I would have took it. So it's been pleasing so far.
Yeah, it's been one of them things. Post-COVID, you were one of the teams who was affected by the COVID sort of the league splitting, because at that point you went to Rams, you had points on the board and you were top of the league going back to 2020, was it? And Willowbank obviously were playing catch up. They had games in hand, but we just never got to find out what would have happened that year. And then fast forward last season, poor start to the season, so it's another year missed. Mm-hmm. So it's now almost like third time lucky, maybe, is it? At maybe getting this over the line and getting Portavogie promoted and getting us to win the league, maybe, do you think?
The year before the season stopped with COVID, we finished third behind Green Island and Plonget.
That's right, yeah.
Green Island hadn't lost a league fixture till they came to Portavogie near the end of the season. Obviously then I had a wee look at where we were in 2020, and we're a point better off this time around compared to the year. Obviously, Willowbank hadn't lost a game, and I don't think they'd drawn any either, and it would have been very tough, and we would have had to play them twice. But I think if you had a look at the league back then, I think a real good possibility like we would have finished in the top two definitely in 2020. So this year, just to be able to be in with a challenge at this time of the year, the village itself's buzzing at the minute. We're a football village. It's been nice since 2018 when we won 2B. So and then obviously last year was, we had, I think it took me probably about 7 matches to even to get 8 points last year to start. But we finished quite well, and we tried to carry that through into the start of the year this year. So we are where we are.
Is there anything that you may have done differently from last year this year to improve on it, or was it just injuries and suspensions or anything that held you back at the start of last season?
Last season, our first 3 fixtures was Finicky at home. We were drew 1 each, and I was actually quite gutted. First day of the season, we gave away a penalty. We were winning 1-0. Finicky went on to win it. We then went to the Cliff, Willowbank, and they tanked us 5-1 or 5-0 maybe. Played us off the park, and then we went to Shamrock, and Shamrock I think maybe beat us 2-1. So with three matches played, we're sitting with a point, and I think, personally speaking, I think the team maybe knew, after 3 matches, like it was maybe over. But Willowbank came down to us last year or at the end of the season, and we beat them 5-1. With a couple of good results near the end of the year. We're just inconsistency. That's all it was last year. With a few players that left, due to work commitments, employment. And maybe a few younger boys, maybe a year last year, maybe helped them come through. So just all them different things.
The consistency.
Yeah,
towards
well,
the end of last season, the consistency he's had to finish
yeah,
fourth. I suppose you've carried that on, haven't you, really, into this
yeah.
season as well.
Well, would Shamrock beat us 1-0 on the first day of the season, and then we had a ding dong with Kelvin 5-4. We beat them,
Yeah,
and then I think we had a couple of 3 weeks or whatever way it worked out. Long D match was postponed, and then with Cookstown and Junior Cup it was postponed for whatever reason, and then we drew with Bangor Young Men. We scored about the last couple of minutes to make it 2 each, and we've actually drawn with them twice.
yeah,
You know, it could turn around to be a good point, and then we went on a run of 5 or 6, and then we played them again, drew 2 each, Bangor Young Men, and then we're on a run again of 5 or 6 wins. So the consistency, but we haven't really battered many teams.
yeah.
There hasn't been. I think St Matthews have had a couple of big score lines and different bits and pieces. We've had to really work hard every week for points.
What's your remaining fixtures looking like? Do you have many home games or away games? Have you still to play the teams around you, or
After beating Donkey there on Saturday, we've now 7 left. So we've 4 away and 3 at home. We'll have double header with St Matthews, and we'll have Beann Mhadaghain at home, Shamrock away, and we'll
right?
have Ford at home, Donkey away, and Queens away on Saturday here. So
Yeah.
that's
So
our fixtures.
there's a lot of big games coming up, or especially with the other teams who are at the moment the way it's looking the league table fan for the league, Shamrock, Beann Mhadaghain, St Matthews. You still to play both of them or two of them once and one of them twice. So a lot of important
Yep.
games. Do you think it might actually come down to those games, or is it just one game at a time mentality at the moment?
It's them games aren't big unless you win the games before them.
Yeah,
You have to, the old cliche as everybody says, one game at a time. And as a manager, I've looked at fixtures, I've looked at what could happen, what might not happen. People, managers turn around and say 1 week at a time, but we all have a wee look. We kind of see a schedule. We might say somebody might lose a point here, or this will be a hard fixture, but it's very much the boys. I've told them if they keep doing what they've done this year, they're in with a real good chance.
yeah,
I know pressure and different bits and pieces can happen in football. I've been around it long enough as a player, but even how I maybe handle the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, trying to balance it and just keep plugging away. It's as simple as that.
yeah. You also have that date for the Pepper and Corey Cup semi final, which against 22nd Old Boys. It's obviously a good thing that to be fighting on more fronts because it shows how well he's performed this point this season. But then for you as a manager, it's just the balancing act and trying to keep boys focused and not looking too far ahead and stuff like that. As well as the league, you're also focusing on the cup. So how do you think going into that there, you'll manage to do both?
Well, the cup, to be honest, it's like a bonus for us.
Yeah,
It's one of the cups, one of the domestic cups I've actually looked at the start of the year and says, we'll give this a real good go.
yeah,
Um, I know St Mary's beat us in the Junior Cup and the Junior Shield.
yeah,
Um, to be honest, then when you seen how far they got, in the Junior Shield, yeah, before they got put out, they were a good side. And then I think we played them in the Junior Cup, and I had it was probably a good week to maybe play in one of them competitions because we had a ream of players out.
yeah,
So it maybe worked out quite well. So we were out them cups pretty early, and I think we're maybe 3 league fixtures played more than Shamrock, and maybe 4 more than Beann Mhadaghain and St Matthews. So be honest, I was disappointed when we did go out them, but I was kind of thinking, let's try and get some league matches played
yeah,
and see where it takes us. Yeah, and then obviously Albert Foundry beat us 1-0 in the Clarence Cup up there, but
yeah.
by no means that was a disgrace of a result, and we were very much in the game. So, but then again, it maybe worked in our favour too, going out of it pretty
Yeah.
early.
It's two things this time of year. Obviously, points on the board's massive, but also the fact that when you get this stage of the year, if you have so many league games to play, it becomes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Is your schedule, is it well balanced, do you think, along with the cup games? Are you happy enough with it?
Yeah, well, I'm happy enough now. I think maybe the league maybe forgot that we were in the semi final of the cup and they had us Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've our first um midweek will be the semi final.
Yeah.
After we play Shamrock that Saturday, and then I think we have, is it Donkey then St Matthews back to back, maybe Tuesday,
Yeah.
Saturday, after the semi final week. So and then we'll forward to play midweek as well. So
Yeah.
we're not overly too bad, to
Yeah.
be honest. But still in junior football, if you miss maybe some key personnel for a week, you maybe end up missing 3 matches.
Yeah.
Or they pick an injury up, it could be 4 or 5 matches come the end of the
Rather than
season.
just one. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Big time.
And
Looking at your team sheet every week, you see a lot of Cully names. That can you shed light on why there's so many Cullys in the Portavogie ranks?
well, you probably know this, but the brother David, that's David Cully, that's the brother, Ted, and then Jay, that's my oldest son.
Yeah.
So he's playing away, and have we got any other thing? It's just them two, and then maybe me the odd week. Maybe.
Sometimes you're playing as well.
Well,
Yeah.
here I'm definitely not playing. I've had 100 and I played a half for the seconds last week or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I kind of way thought, come to run in, you never know, you might be needed for half an hour or whatever, and I actually felt so unfit at 170 minutes in about 3 years, and
Yeah.
to be honest, it kind of put me off. I think my time's up, and
Yeah.
the odd 5 minutes here or there, yeah, but not much else now.
No. Obviously, I know Portavogie. You, anytime we've been down, there's always been a big support. The club gets well supported, and
Mhm.
winning 2A, getting promotion, or winning a Cock and Corey, whatever success you may have this season, it'll be a massive thing for the town. But also, you as a family as well, because you have that family connection. Your son's playing for you and all as well. Like, how much would it mean to the club and you as an individual as well, and the Cully family?
Oh, I mean, absolutely everything to me. Let me see, I'm 40 now, so I grew up watching, going up whenever one of my sons now is 13, going up to watch Portavogie. Um, it's most people in the village, they want to know where you're playing at. We also take decent away support too.
Yeah.
And if I probably hadn't have done my 5 years at Ards when I got the chance in my later years playing football, I wouldn't have been anywhere else.
Yeah.
So being able to go back and kind of taking the opportunity now to kind of push them on, it's kind of grown up. Portavogie always won. We're always down area league.
Yeah.
Some of the teams I watched when I was younger maybe went 6, 7 years, cup doubles,
Yeah.
cup finals. You were taking crowds here, there, everywhere. It's been a lot harder since we went into the amateur league.
Yeah.
I don't even think we won 2C. I think we maybe got promoted by finishing third, or 2C finishing third, and then obviously the success of winning 2B was nice. It was lovely actually.
Yeah.
But now, having a chance to kick on, and the youth setup now is
That's right. Yeah.
it's big. So it's actually very nice now that my son, I can't remember when it started, maybe 12, 13 years ago. So he would have been in 03.
Yeah.
And I have, I think, maybe 6 or 7 between the two squads on Saturday were 02, 03 players. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So that's a massive thing as well, like the sustainability as well. And then if the club's aim is to drive up through the leagues, and obviously you need that you set up. So it's some goal as a club what you have going forward.
Yeah, well, it's honestly it's been very, very good. It's when you I'm already looking at the with maybe 5, 6, or 5 players playing regularly now, but on
Yeah,
segments I've won round about the first team squad too, and some sixes have made a few appearances, and we're always looking at what's next,
yeah,
and kind of having that picture in front of
yeah,
us, of what we can do. And I already know myself. There's going to be there's 2 or 3 who maybe in a year and a half's time is going to push the current crop again, and that's what I want.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and that's what we need, because
Keep it.
yourself, it's very difficult to, especially amateur league football and the amount of teams there is about now, and especially in the Irish Peninsula. It's I don't really get players travelling
Yeah,
a big distance to come and play for me, so it's important to try and produce the local young players and try and keep them.
yeah. Because I'm sure years ago, before Portavogie Rangers you set up, you would have had players going down the Arts Peninsula to our clubs, and now you have the ability to keep them. It can push the club forward.
Oh well, well that's a thing. We still would have a few players from Portugal,
Yeah,
playing for other teams, but
yeah,
um, as you know yourself, it's very hard to keep everybody happy.
yeah,
Um, you could. I've made mistakes in the past. I'm sure players have made mistakes too, and it it's probably a real learning curve for me. I was never maybe a player that maybe questioned the manager or different
yeah,
bits and pieces, but I think now players kind of they know what they want, and they kind of they kind of maybe push for a place in the team or a place in the squad, and you can only name 14, and it was very, very
yeah,
difficult at times.
yeah,
I've had a couple of tough calls, over the course of the season.
yeah,
But yeah, we are where we're here now, and
yeah.
we're buzzing to get going and get going again Saturday.
Well, mate, thanks very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And you've a hectic schedule ahead. Potential for 2 pieces of silverware as well as potential promotion. For anyone that doesn't realise, 2A is the hardest league ever to get out of. Only one team is guaranteed promotion, and you're kind of hoping that you finish as high as you can if there's any other places open up. But I wish you the best of luck rest of the season, and hopefully when Ford go down at the end or the start of May, I think we're down. It's good weather down that day, and you can get the barbecue on for me.
Yes, 100%, no problem at all. And thanks again for inviting me on, and good luck with the rest of the podcast.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Thank you.
No bother. See you. Bye.
I'm here with Les McCrory from St Matthews. Les, thank you very much for coming on, mate. How are you keeping?
I'm all good, mate. All good. Listen, no problem at all. Thanks for having us.
Training tonight?
Training just over there. Another session under the belt. Planning preparation for Saturday now. Double header against Shamrock.
So you played them last Saturday, and then it's again this week as well. So
Yeah,
obviously it's 2 title challengers playing each other. You come out on the right side of it last Saturday, winning 2-0.
yeah.
How did the game go for you?
To be fair, like, it was a very, very close game. Very, very hard fought win.
Yeah,
Game could have gone another way. To be honest, Shamrock were unlucky not to come out of something with the game, out of the game with something. Um, you know, they're a very good side.
yeah,
They've been in they're an established 2A team. We're obviously we only got promoted this year. And they play some lovely football. I like to watch Shamrock play.
yeah,
Obviously when you're up against them, you're hoping you get the right end of the result, which we did on Saturday. But it's tough to go into back-to-back games.
yeah.
So I'm hoping obviously we can carry a bit of that form into Saturday and get another result.
So far, you said that it's your first season in 2A. Obviously, so far, you've probably done better than what expected, or did you think you would be up near the top towards the end of the season, or?
Well, it's hard to know when you're going to a new league. because obviously we only know how we fared against the teams that came up with us. Now, it was an unusual set of circumstances last year where 4 teams went up.
Yeah.
You know, there was ourselves, there was Beann Mhadaghain, there was Bangor Young Men, and there Kelvin. Mm-hmm. So we know sort of how we fared against them teams last year. So you know, even though we finished 3rd in the league, we finished strong. In the run into the league, you know, Beann Mhadaghain won the league. We drew with them and beat them. And Bangor finished 2nd, and we beat them home and away. Yeah. So we knew coming into the league that, you know, we were on a par with those teams. But obviously you don't know what the teams are like who are already into it. We've surprised ourselves in how well we've done. But again, we've got a crop of young players, and we've got a few experienced players back at the start of the season. And once we start playing the football, you know, we knew we could sort of push them anyway.
Yeah, you just lost to Bangor Young Men the other week. That was, because given recent results, it was a bit of a surprise result. Or do you still think Bangor Young Men are a team to be reckoned with in PA? It obviously started off slow, but their results have been sort of back and forward.
Yeah, listen, you can't deny that Bangor Young Men are a good side. You know, I think they won one of the cups last year, I think. Yeah. And you know, they finished 2nd in our league. You know, so they're a good side. To be fair, last week we played them the Saturday after St. Patrick's Day, which is never a good day to play football. And that said, I'm not using that as an excuse, because during the game we had enough chances to win 2 games. It was just one of those days. But take nothing away from Bangor Young Men. You know, they came and they scored 5 at our place, which no other team's done this year. Yeah. So you know, fair play to them. But yeah, it was a bit of a shock result for us because we were getting full of confidence. We were unbeaten to that point.
Yeah. And then your remaining games, how many games you got left, and what's your fixture running looking like?
Do you know what? 2A is probably going to be the most exciting running of all the leagues, I would imagine, because all the top teams still have to play each other. Yeah. You know, you mentioned there's 4 or 5 teams within the, you know, there's obviously Portavogie are top at the minute, and they're probably in the best position of everybody because they've got the points in the bag. You've Portavogie, you've ourselves, you've Beann Mhadaghain, you've Shamrock, and you've Kelvin. And any one of those 5 teams could win it because we all play each other. We've still to play Portavogie twice. We've still to play Beann Mhadaghain twice. We've still to play Shamrock. You know, we've still to play Kelvin twice. So all those teams that are in the shout all play each other. Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting running.
Yeah, well, Kelvin kind of, suppose they're a wee bit left field now because they're starting to pick up points most recently since Christmas and stuff. So they've kind of just snuck up there and added themselves into the mix as well.
Oh, listen, it's a tough league. You know, I mean, take your own club for example. You know, Ford have now taken points off Shamrock and they've taken points off Beann Mhadaghain in the last few weeks. Yeah. So you know, we're sort of glad we've played got out of the road.
Got us at a good time. So it's start of season.
Well, even at that, you know, I think we were lucky in the away fixture. We played. We were at the game. I think we were lucky to come away with the 3 points even. So you know, it's one of those leagues where most teams on their day can beat anybody else. Yeah. So I don't think there's any easy games in the running.
What about the way the fixtures are lined up? Is there this stage of season is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday quite often? Is there big enough breaks between your games, or they're coming thick and fast? Or
no, they're coming thick and fast, which is why, you know, it's good to have a big squad. You know, you can sort of call on the second team players there. You know, there's a few boys up training in tonight because we know we're going to need another between 18 and 20 boys over the next few weeks, because obviously you're going to get injuries, you're going to get suspensions, whatever it may be. So they're going to come thick and fast. The problem is when you get a good run in the cups, and then obviously there's a bit of a fixture backlog. Then you sort of lose, you know, our home pitch is Icefield, and it's hard to get that during the week. So you're sort of losing home advantage when the games are played midweek.
Yeah, you had to play a lot of away games midweekend, which can cause travel as well. Have you much travel to do midweek as well? Yeah.
There's a few games. I think we play Portavogie away. Well, Portavogie travel to us during the week.
Right.
And then I think we have to travel to them during the week as well. It was a rearranged
Yeah.
fixture because they were playing in the semi-final of one of the cups.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, there's a bit of travelling involved, but not too much. As you know, you Kelvin or Belfast, Beann Mhadaghain aren't too far away, so the travelling's not too bad.
Yeah. In terms of your squad towards the end of the season, are you quite strong in terms of there's not many suspensions or injuries? Are you happy enough for where you're placed?
No, we've been pretty lucky with suspensions now. We've been sort of cracking down on the discipline. We want the boys to, play to the whistle, play. Referee's decision.
Yeah.
Not always easy, but
Yeah.
they've been better this year than they have, in previous years. So, I think maybe one or two boys have been suspended throughout the year, and that's it, which is good. But again, as you know, coming into the run-in, when the games come thick and fast, that you can end up getting another one or two suspended, which could ultimately cost you if it doesn't go your way.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams around you as well have the added bonus, but it can also be a distraction with the cup runs, like Beann Mhadaghain of semi-final of Junior Shield, Portavogie semi-final of Les McCrory Cup. Obviously, you want to win trophies, but now that you're in the position where you're 9 points behind Portavogie with 3 games in hand, which means you have to win those games to get level with them first and foremost. Are you glad then you don't have that cup distraction? You can now focus on the league, or?
Oh yeah, obviously the cups are gone for us this year, and we did get a good run, but yeah, that distraction's now gone. As I said a few minutes ago, Portavogie are in prime position. You'd rather have the points in the bag than the games at hand at this stage.
Yeah.
So they're the team to catch at the minute. But like I said, we've still to play them twice, and they've still to play the other top teams as well. So it's not going to be easy for anybody. And it will be an exciting running.
Yeah, of course, 2A that you have to win 2A to guarantee promotion, but you could also finish anywhere in the top 2, 3, 4, and still possibly get promoted depending on what happens in the leagues above. Are St Matthews in a position to get promotion this year, or is it something which will have to happen further down the line?
No, well. Listen, we're in terms of the ground, we use Anfield as our home pitch, and it meets intermediate status.
Good,
so
happy days.
So and there would be no issue there should we win the league or finish second, and depending on what happens elsewhere, we would be in a position that we could play intermediate football. Yeah.
Yeah, so coming into 2A first year, you have that opportunity. It's a big opportunity for the club as well to push on. I know you have obviously St Matthews is a club going a long time, but you've only been in the amateur league a few years and you've progressed up quite quickly. So the opportunity to progress up through the leagues even further, I'm sure that must be a big incentive for everyone in the club and the players.
Oh, definitely. We're a very young side as well. And we do have a few experienced players there. They prefer the word experience rather than old, but but we do have a few experienced players there. But a lot of the boys that we would use, they're late teens, early 20s. And they're a group of boys that maybe we had from our under 17s, under 19s a few years back. And it's been 4 or 5 years of hard graft in the making of what we have now. So as you say, to come into 2A and do so well and to be in the reckoning at this stage of the game, listen, there's nothing we're taking nothing for granted. We've still to play all those top teams. There's no. You could end up finishing 5th or 6th if you're not, if you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So we're taking nothing for granted at this stage. We'll take each game as it comes. But yeah, our aim would be to get in. I mean, for a club who only got into the amateur league maybe 5-6 years ago, if you take COVID out of that, to get intermediate football would be fantastic.
Les, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Gary. Listen, appreciate
I
what
wish
you're doing.
You best of luck around the year. You have a lot of big games there to look forward to and get ready for.
Yes. Here's hoping, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Well, here, thanks very much again, Les, and I'll speak to you soon.
All the best, Gary. Thanks a million, mate. Cheers.
Hello folks, this episode is sponsored by Pizza Co. Pizza Co have 5 stores delivering across Belfast, Lisburn and Glengormley, and you can find them on their website at thepizzaco.co.uk, or the Pizza Co app was available on the app stores. They have many deals, but the best deal for me would have to be Matey Monday, which is buy one get one free every single Monday. Not only is it good value, but their pizzas and sides taste great also. So check it out, you won't be disappointed. I'm here with Damien Cole from Beann Mhadaghain. D, how are you keeping, matey? All good?
All good, Gary. Thanks for having me on.
I'm glad to have you on, mate. I know you have a busy schedule. Midweek games starting already, and you have, of course, a semi-final to look forward to. So, how have you found this season so far?
Well, it's been a rude awakening for me personally. Obviously, I just took over the first team this year from quite a successful manager before, and from our coming up from our seconds, obviously. So there's been a lot to take in. It's a lot tougher. There's a lot more moving parts. Teams are different. There are more matches. Loads of things that are different. To be honest, more people asking you questions, more people talking about you. So all the usual sort of stuff that I'm sort of having to get used to.
Well, so far, your first season in 2A, it's been so far pretty successful. You're sitting in a good position in the league in terms of games won compared to lost and drawn. Was it drawn one, lost two? You have won, what is it, 8 or 9 games? Or
Aye.
yeah,
It's a bit, be a bit flattered when people say, "Oh, you're just going well," and all, because I still feel like we have so much of the season still to come. But there's loads of games still to come. We started off really well. When I think we won our first 5 or something on the spin. Playing Bangor in there a couple of times, who were kind of our rivals last year. Obviously, they had that brilliant season last year. And we managed to get a couple of wins, get the win in their sail a wee bit, and then we lost 2. That we had a wee bit of a wobble just before Christmas there, and actually Christmas came at a brilliant time for us, to be honest. A few cup matches after Christmas, and got a few wins under the belt, got going again. Then we got another 3, I think, maybe 3 wins in the league, and then obviously we drew ourselves there just the other night. So, but a lot of big games still to come. No disrespect to any of the other teams, just looking with a lot of the top teams to play. We've still to play Portavogie again down at their place, and they're sitting pretty at the top with quite a few games played as well. I'd imagine they'll not have the same backlog of sort of midweek games. They beat us actually 1-0 as well. Pretty tight game at our place. We haven't played St Matthews yet, who are flying. I'm looking at St Matthews going, they're the team to beat again. No disrespect to Portavogie, but St Matthews are a good side, and I remember they played us last year. I wasn't in charge, but they beat us 6 or 7 or something up at Icefield, and quality in Nevada a bit this year as well. Haven't played the Shamrock yet either. Again, local rivals. That'll be a derby match for us too. A lot of lads know each other. I know Stewardy and Marty and stuff pretty well too. So big games, loads and loads. We haven't played Calvin yet either. Double header against them as they come. Double header against Lower Shangle to come. Feels like we've already played anybody actually now that we're talking about it.
It's mad that you're coming now. You're almost coming to the last month of the season, and you've half a season in league season only played, and so you've still a long way to go. Where you're sitting in the league table, you're behind everybody in games in terms of the teams challenging. So you do have a big backlog, and plus you have a cup semi-final next week as well. So in terms of your squad, how do you think your squad's going to fare coming into this part of the season with a lot of games, or are the fit and stuff strong enough? How you fixed with injuries and suspensions?
To be honest, injuries ways, this is probably, we're coming into probably the best period. Start of the season, pre-season, we lost our 2 centre halves in a pre-season game, and the first one was only back there on the other night against you guys, and the other one's still injured, and he'd probably be for the rest of the season anyway. We've had a few injuries throughout the season. It's probably like every other team. You always have 2 or 3 at least. Some weeks you 5. Maybe a couple out for a week here and a week there. But But we're actually starting to get them back now. Players are starting to get back. A couple of Gaelic boys at the start of the season play for Pierce's, and Pierce's obviously went on and won their championship and stuff. So we're missing them for ages, at the start of the season, and then a couple of them come back, get injured. Same old story. You're trying to balance injuries, and obviously those Gaelic boys and stuff, they're playing and training and playing and training, and running their bodies in the ground. So it's going to happen, but. Yeah, we're starting to get them back now. Whether we'll get them all back in time for the semi, I don't know. We'll know better at the weekend maybe, and then we'll have to make that call whether they're fit enough to play. But I'm glad that they're coming back now, because this is when we're going to need it. Semi-final side. The league is the bread and butter for us, and that's where we want to really try and sort of give our best efforts. And yourself, when you're playing Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday, Saturday, the injuries just come. So we need that wee bit of depth, and fingers crossed we'll have it when it's called upon.
Yeah, so you've a big semi-final next week against Tyville Homers, and kind of the Junior Shield is kind of went into a wee bit of disarray in the quarter-final stage, and you just found yourself back in the competition against Tyville, who've just booked a place in the Junior Cup final just last night. So how do you feel? Because obviously you lost that tight game against St Mary's. You're back in the competition. Harryville are obviously a strong side. How do you feel, first of all, your boys come back into the competition, and then against your opposition? How do you think you'll fare against Harryville?
Well, the boys are delighted.
Yeah.
So the game is against St Mary's, good game. They're a couple of goals early, got a good few chances ourselves, never really took them, got back into it, and then obviously goes to the good old lottery of penalties, and we missed all ours, so deservedly found ourselves out on our rear ends, and then obviously happened, rules and eligibility and all that, don't really know much about it. It is what it is. The league or the cup guys done what they had to do, and we found ourselves back in. Not the way you want to be getting into any competition, no doubt, and a sore one for St Mary's, who are local rivals, stroke friends, as well, and playing the pitch beside us. Again, the manager tan stuff very well, and real good lads down there. Personal rivalries, obviously, between the players. A lot of lads know each other, mates, playing Gaelic teams together and all that. But, for me, a lot of respect for St Mary's, and, they have been friends of ours over all the years that we've been down there, really. So disappointing for them. We've been the benefactors of it, but all we can do is just get on with it now, and try and sort of live up to what they maybe could have done when they were in it. So that's what we'll try and do. And to be honest, the boys we were home there with them last Saturday, and wished us all the best, and they want us to go on and give a good account of ourselves. So fair play to them.
Yeah. Have you had an opportunity to watch Tyville? Were you at the game last night, or?
I'm sick looking at them now, to be honest. I've seen them the last 3 games or something, and they've scored about 1 squillion goals in the last 5 matches or something they've played. So I'll go with my eyes closed the next time I have to go and see them. But no, they watch a few league games. You know all about them. They are a top side. Very, very strong. All over the park, really well organised. They're well drilled. Lots of cuteness in their team. And listen, quality players in there as well.
Yeah.
Strathroy, we have played Strathroy this year. They beat us early doors in the Junior Cup, knocked us out of that. Really good side as well. And the match last night was brilliant. We went down to watch it. Really 2 good sides going at it. Wasn't much between them. Harryville probably had the better chances, took their chances as well. But just a real fit, well organised team with good quality, in real key areas of the pitch. So, I mean, from our perspective, we're glad to be here. We will go and give it everything we have, but no doubt about it, that the Homers will be red hot favourites for it. And, again, they showed their quality last night. They're in the Junior Cup final. We all know how difficult it is. We've never get near a Junior Cup final. And then boys have, it's food and drink for them. They've been doing it for that long now. And they've changing the guard with some players and stuff, and they're still doing it, so listen, they've got the pedigree. but these are the matches that we're all in football for. You know, these are maybe we get the fairy tale and knock them out or whatever. You know, but whatever way it goes down, we go and we leave everything out there on Wednesday night down and ever 100%.
Yeah, and there's the potential for then another local derby as well in the final. If you happen to get past Harryville, beat Harryville, then you play Greencastle, another team I'm sure you know a lot about in the final. They await the winners.
Again, yes, good friends of ours. A lot of players and officials and all would know each other well. They now play on the pitch behind us. They got their own pitch down at the valley there. So yeah, you know, old cliche, don't really want to talk about Greencastle because we have a massive
See, I knew you would say that, but I always try and catch people out, but I knew you'd say it. So.
No. Listen, the Harryville says blocks that's sitting in front of us is the only thing that we'll be worried about. But obviously, the first thing we'll have to do is get our league match out of the way on Saturday against Lower Shankill, because when the games are coming thick and fast, like this, the minute you take your eye off the ball, you know, somebody's in behind you and you've dropped points or you find yourself in the end of a defeat that you weren't anticipating. So we're just trying to cover all the bases where we can. And then come Saturday after our game, that'll be shoulder to wheel game for Wednesday.
Yeah. After next Wednesday, and it will be back to league, so it will. And with having so many games coming up, I take it you're pretty much Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday the rest of the season. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, it's hard to do. Is there many away games in there, travelling? Is there any games which the Thursday, Saturday ones I was finding the hardest because there's only 2-day break? What do you think is your like your schedule going forward?
Yeah, well, so we're not too bad in the sense that there's mostly 2 games in a week now. Right. With a couple of games haven't been scheduled yet, but I think at the minute sitting down with again organising our fixture at McCrory the other night, and I think at the minute we're scheduled to be playing until the 20th of May, and that's with 2 games a week. If there's I think there's a week of the coronation where there's no matches on the Saturday or something and whatever. But we've got all these other games to play as well, and the couple that we haven't quite got rescheduled yet. Most of our all of our midweek games, bar one, is away. Because we can't really get our pitch midweek. It's a Saturday thing, so we try to get as many home games out of the way at the start of the season as we can. Yeah. Just trying to work the logistics as best possible. Sort of similar to you guys, you know, you're trying to get wrapped up, you know, to let crew do what they need to do. So there's moving parts in that respect, but I don't. The games that are still going to be played, I'd imagine a couple are going to end up 3 games and in 7 days at least, a couple of times, because that's just the way it has to be going forward. But it's a St Matthews are probably in a similar spot. Shamrock are definitely in a similar spot. I mean, a couple of teams that are a wee bit below us have games to come. Say Portavogie probably are the best place to have their fixtures spread as evenly, which is great, because obviously it's always better to have the points on the board and to be to still have them in front there, because you can't be counting any chickens, certainly not in 2A anyway.
It can almost be, the unfortunate thing is in the world we live in, that you can be a victim of your own success. So the better you do in the cups, especially, and the better you do in the league, then the more you have to play for it during the season, but the more you have to cram in, and that could be the hard thing. But that's where you really find out who is your deserved champions normally, or deserved teams to get promoted in leagues. So it's the way it is, but we kind of just have to get on with it, don't we? And just sort of keep drilling our squad out every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday until we get the season done.
Well, that's it. It's no different than any other year and any other teams that are in 2A or even below. The seconds last year, we went 20 games, 20 out of 20, won all of them, didn't have a cup to play in, so it was fairly straightforward. Only had Saturday games and maybe had 1 midweek game, but nowhere near the amount of games. It's just the vast number of games that you have at this level is the big difference. And, most people are in the same boat. Even if you get, you don't even have to do well in the cups, you just have to get through a few rounds of a couple of cups. And the games start to tot up, so But again, there's no point complaining about it or anything like that, because everybody's always in the same boat. We've watched teams like sort of Willowbank and stuff in the past, they embrace runs like that and get tore in, and they're still able to go on and win junior cups and junior shields. So it's nothing to complain about. Just have to go and give it the best sort of shot we can, and fingers crossed that we don't pick up too many injuries at key times, and ideally we can get as many matches out of it as possible before the GA really kicks in, because we've a lot of GA boys too, and they're back playing already, and it's going to start coming thick and fast for them. So it's all right when you've a junior shield semi-final to entice them, but going away to Donegal some Thursday nights, that's quite the same sort of attraction.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you giving up your time. I know you've had a busy week, and a game on Tuesday and then a semi-final to watch last night, and then unfortunately come on and give up your time on a Thursday night. So I really appreciate you doing so, and I wish you best of luck for the rest of the season in your semi-final next week and all your remaining league games. Seeing as you don't have to play us anymore, that's why.
I know, well, glad to get that out of the way. You think you want to give us a wee touch the other night there now, to be honest. But no, listen, thanks for having me on. Love the podcast, to be honest. It was brilliant during lockdown. I was delighted to see it coming back. So keep up the good work, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.
I just want to say a final thank you to our sponsors, Next Gen Power and Pizza Co. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thanks again.